Hi, I'm iFocus editor Kyle Pyatt, and I'm very excited to introduce the new iFocus. We've made some big changes this year. Instead of posting intermittent news stories, we'll be providing you with consistent, comprehensive news broadcasts, which will air on a regular basis right here on FHCToday.com. Each of these broadcasts will include stories pertaining to Delve, Sweat, and The Scene, respectively, our news, athletics, and entertainment sections. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome you to the first iFocus episode of the 2012-2013 school year. Now over to Ben Morrison with Delve.
Many students have filled their schedules with difficult courses this year, and with the ever-growing availability of AP classes, there are plenty of opportunities to do so. There were several additions to that list this year, and staff reporter James Pugh has the details on some of the notable ones.
This year, Francis House Central has added a few new AP classes to the list. AP Psychology, taught by Mr. Boning, and AP Economics, taught by Ms. Schaefer, are new this year. AP European History, taught by Mr. Lober, has returned after a year of absence.
I like the challenge of the level of intellect that you get with the students in an AP level course. I also like the idea that I can push kids a little bit harder because of that hopefully increased intellect to a certain extent, and the fact that kids in an AP course are usually willing to challenge themselves. We get to push it a little bit farther, a little bit harder. And I also like the idea that there's a high stakes test at the end.
This year we are offering AP Economics for the first time. It's a year-long class. We're teaching a semester of micro and a semester of macro. And hopefully at the end of the year the students will be able to sit for both exams and potentially get 6 college credit hours. Another benefit of the class is that it also includes personal finance. So if the students have not taken personal finance, as long as they have a B in the class and they pass the state personal finance test with a 70 or higher, they can also get personal finance credit.
I'm very interested in the subject matter, teaching world history. Our curriculum is pretty much centered around European history, so kind of have a passion for that topic. So, but probably more importantly, just to have the opportunity to teach the students that I had as sophomores in honors world history, knowing that they would be seniors, I thought that would be pretty cool to be able to teach them.
These classes are sure to provide difficult coursework, but teachers are confident that their students will persevere.
I don't think that every person that takes the course understands the level of commitment that it requires to be successful. I know there are kids that think that they'll need to be spoon-fed information, that may be what they're used to in their educational setting, that they're told everything they need to know.
At this point, the students are responding pretty well to the rigor and the workload, so I'm optimistic.
It is a tough subject, and to have that one-on-one attention that you can get in a high school setting that you're not going to get in a college setting, these students are at such a great advantage going into college without having to take the class there and have it out of the way.
Only time will tell if these AP classes are to be successful, but until the test in May, teachers are sure to be giving it their all to ensure the best test scores for their students. This is James Pugh, staff reporter for the Central Focus, signing off.
Thanks, James. Now over to Abby Schneider with Sweat.
With the fall sports season well underway, student athletes have been working hard at practices and games alike. One team in particular has made some noteworthy changes to their tactics this year. iFocus editor Kyle Pyatt has details on the football team's new offensive strategies.
I'm iFocus editor Kyle Pyatt, and as you can see, football season is back in full swing here at FHC, and the fans have taken their normal spots in the bleachers. But one thing this year is different from previous years. The offensive strategy of our football team has been completely changed.
We have more receivers in the game. We're trying to spread the defenses out to create more running lanes, and then also have the ability to throw the ball and get the ball to receivers, whatever the defense gives us.
If we look at the previous clip, we can see some major changes in play. There are 4 receivers spread out with the quarterback in shotgun, unlike previous years which featured the quarterback under center with 2 running backs behind him. That offense bunched everyone together. This one spreads everyone out. Using the whole field can create mismatches as defenses get confused covering the plethora of routes. This slant and wheel play leaves number 19 confused as Desmond Young walks in for an easy touchdown. But why is now the right time to make this change?
We felt like, with Brody being a first-year quarterback and being, having 2 years to do this, and looking at personnel we have coming up in the future, that we just felt like it was the right time to make that switch now instead of making it in the middle of maybe a quarterback's regime.
We have a lot of athletes this year, and to run our new offense, you need a lot of athletes. So it hasn't picked up yet, but it will keep it getting better and better. A lot of people, it's new, so a lot of people still are picking up the plays and whatnot. But once we get clicking, it'll get a lot better.
With our strategy updated and our players ready, this season promises, at the least, to be an interesting one. I'm Kyle Pyatt, signing off.
Thanks, Kyle. Now here's Kelly Gresinger with the scene.
FHC's theater department is known for maintaining the professional quality of its productions despite its enormous workloads. This year, however, the theater department will be working on considerably less productions than it has in previous years. The staff reporter Jeremy Karp with the details.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Karp, and I'm here in the FHC auditorium. Now, normally on production nights, this place is filled to capacity. Kids, parents, and grandparents alike, all coming to see one of the majestic plays that the FHC Spotlight players perform. Normally on a yearly basis, they perform 4 plays, with a musical or 2 tied in. However, this year, with Michelle Mall, the director of the theater department, scheduled conflicts, as well as many other factors in the Spotlight players, they're only performing 2 plays this year. 1 musical and 1 non-musical, 1 each semester. Now, that could have many benefits and many disadvantages, and I decided to take it to my hands and look down deep into what makes having only 2 plays a year a good idea.
I talked to Dr. Ornell actually at the end of last year just to kind of clarify on the expectations for the theater department, and he said, as long as you have 2 shows, it doesn't necessarily have to be a play or a musical. So I went ahead, I was like, I love musicals and obviously I love plays too.
I would hope for more shows to come back in because I like that better than just having 2.
I am very excited because the first show is really, really funny, and I love Kiss Me Kate, which is the musical.
In place of the other 2 productions, the theater group has decided for this time to focus on other endeavors.
This year we decided to do more of community things, like we're going to do Oasis Food Pantry like we usually do every year, but we also are doing a lot of fundraising like for ourselves. So it's kind of just a year, like not a year off, but a year to just kind of relax.
The enthusiasm for the upcoming year may be a result of the outcry of support from Miss Mall and her return for another year.
Well, I'm very flattered. I really wasn't expecting so many kids to come together and fight for me, so I'm definitely flattered. I wish it would have, come to full time, but because of everything that they've done for me and that kind of thing, I decided, might as well come back.
I don't think that it's very fair that she's not getting like a full-time job and she's not getting paid as much as the other after-school activity people. And it's more fun when you do all 4 shows, but we're only doing 2. But I guess it's okay because you're spending more time and quality on them.
Well, after taking a look and hearing words from a lot of the Spotlight players and Michelle Mall, the theater group's very excited this year despite the shortcomings of having only 2 plays this year. And I'm sure myself, along with everybody else at FHC, are very excited to be checking out them both. Well, that about does it. This is Jay Karp signing off.
Thanks, Jeremy. Now back to Ben with more Delve.
There's plenty of talk about senior gifts at the end of each school year, but what, if anything, does this talk actually result in? Staff reporter Maddie Wagner has the facts on the class of 2012's gifts and when they are set to arrive.
I'm staff reporter Maddie Wagner for iFocus, and I've decided to take a closer look on the senior gifts that have impacted our school. Whether they're big or small, they're still unique to the class that donated them.
Since I've been the senior sponsor, we've done the marquee, and that's been donated by like 3 or 4 classes. We've done the big Spartan statue that's down by the football field.
Where does the funding come from for the gifts?
We do sell senior t-shirts. There's a little bit of money from that, but most of it comes from prom and the classes prior. It just ranges from the idea, like the statue was probably one of the more expensive just for that, for one class. But the marquee, because that was, I think, I can't even say for sure, but probably close to $20,000. That's why it was a combination of several classes that put that together.
So how does each gift get chosen?
The senior class officers are the ones that come up with the gifts, and they think of the student body of what they feel is necessary or can benefit the school as a whole.
Do senior parent groups donate gifts also?
This past year they did. They did the big screen on the tennis courts, and in the past I don't think any other ones have. People have talked about doing more tables and benches and things like that for students, and maybe something like a cool cover tent type thing to put up over the outside eating areas.
With this year's senior class officers already hard at work selecting their gift, the tradition certainly lives on. I'm Maddie Wagner signing off.
Thanks, Maddie. Now back to Kyle.
Thank you for joining us, and be sure to check out our next episode, which airs on October 1st. We'll see you next time, right here on iFocus.